Are you recording?
Yeah, recording.
Okay, let me just set up my recording over here as well.
这里的 logo 用到那 energizer， 你知道这个 energizer 哪个 energizer 呢？
Energizer 是一种的 activity 来的，一就是好像你们吃了饭，你们出去你们回来，那我们就是 get back。
对，你懂 battery 嘛？
啊
energizer battery。
这个 spelling 不一样啊。
然后 energizer 是 SER， 不是 GER。
其实是一样的，
只是好像
写法是一样的，可是 Energizer 在这里我们的意思就是我们欢迎你们回来啊，欢迎你们回来，不是欢迎你们回来。
对。
OK， 来So, ladies and gentlemen, next slide please, show me.
Okay.
So the next one, we will do an activity before we get back to the seminar. Alright, this is a brief activity. I've allocated about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so this one is called Two Truths and a Lie. Two Truths and a Lie. It's also to get to know you guys better as well. Yeah, 认识你们 to get to know you guys better. So you must make 3 interesting statements about yourself. Alright, 2 of them must be true. 1 of them must be lie. It doesn't have to be true, true, false. It can be true, false, true. It can be false, true, true. Alright? Or it can be true, true, false. Up to you. After that, you let everybody guess which one is the false one. Alright? And then you can tell them which one. So it's a way to get to know you better. Okay? You guys got the idea?
Anything is it or only professional angle?
About yourself, anything. You can say that you
Like, I like nasi lemak, but actually I don't like that.
yeah. You can say something like that.
Maybe
not Malaysian.
So I will start lah. So I will say what you call 3 statements now. Number 1, I know how to ride a motorbike. Okay. Number 2, I used to give my son a bath when he was a boy. Alright.
I didn't hear, sorry, do you want
Number 1 is I can ride a motorbike. Number 2, I used to give my son a bath when he was a boy, when a baby lah, when he was a baby. Alright, when he was a baby. And number 3, I can read the Quran.
Okay.
Okay, so how many of you say that I can ride a motorbike?
Yeah, I mean true, right? True statements, right?
Yeah, how many of you say that I am? Okay, how many of you think that it is not true that I can ride a motorbike?
Not true. I would
Okay.
say lie, truth. LTT.
Okay. Then how many of you say that I gave my son a bath when he was a baby?
That's a lie.
How many of you think that is a lie?
That's a lie.
That's true.
That's a lie.
So most of you think that it's true lah. I'll just do it the other way lah. How many of you think that it's true that I gave my son a bath?
Do you have a son?
That's good question.
Okay. So and then the third one. How many of you think that I can read the Quran? Okay.
Yeah.
So the truth is that I cannot ride a motorbike.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
Why did you touch your nose just now when you talk about your son? You weren't sure. You were touching your nose and then staring at
No, I just happened to each at a time. The truth is I did. Yeah. So okay. So that was
你想
the.
太多，真的想得太多。
Okay. So come. Let's have the next one.
Sorry, Alicia from the back.
Alicia.
Yeah.
Alicia.
I don't know. Yeah,
Come to the front. Otherwise I can video you guys the other way around.
Statement 1. I'm not a KL girl. I am not a KL girl. I'm not a city girl. Okay?
She's not from KL.
Okay, terbalik lah. I am not from KL. I am from Kuala Lumpur. Easy lah.
She was born and raised here.
I'm from Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
Statement 2. I have a sports celebrity
Crush.
boyfriend,
A sports
celebrity,
celebrity boyfriend.
which is non-Malaysian.
Okay.
Number 3 is I have a 33-year-old son.
Okay.
She has a 33 years.
So number 1 is I am not.
Number 1 is you're born and bred here.
You're not KL.
I'm
You're a
KL
KL
girl.
girl.
Okay. I'm born and bred here. Number 2.
Sports celebrity boyfriend.
Yes, a foreign sports celebrity boyfriend. Number 3.
30几岁
Son is
，children
33岁。
32岁。
33岁和31岁。So 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so let's have a show of hands. How many of you say that she was born and bred in KL? Hands up. 2, 3, 4.
不相信还是相信？
相信。
相信。
Okay,
我不相信。
4 people. Okay, next one. How many of you believe that the boyfriend is a celebrity, a sports celebrity? 2 persons.
One's a son, 33-year-old.
And then how many of you believe that her son is 33 years old? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So what is the truth?
The truth is lie true. So I'm not from KL. I have a sports celebrity boyfriend. My son is 33 years old.
Yeah.
If you want to find out who's the celebrity, then you have to ask her.
Google, you can Google.
Conor McGregor.
Okay, next, come, Peter. Bye.
I got sports celebrity girlfriend.
Okay. I'm a lawyer, also an accountant. Okay. I'm an otaku. Otaku means the person like to stay at home. And the last one, I'm a gay.
You're gay.
Otaku is a Japan word.
Yes. Now you can translate to English mean the person like to stay at the home.
宅男。
Yes.
That's right, 宅男.
Okay.
Okay. So how many
What
of
was the
you?
last one again?
I'm a gay.
Ooh, my time.
你样子的吗？还 gay 啊？对 gay 很帅的。
Hey, then later I
Okay, how many of you say that he's an accountant as well as a lawyer?
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wah, banyak supporter 7 ada. Okay, how many of you says that he is an otaku? China. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay. How many of you says that he is gay? 1 saja. What? You raise your hand 3 times, brother.
He's confused.
giving wrong signals.
Because my time.
Okay, so what's the real answer?
The first two is the real, the last is a false one.
Okay.
So disappointing.
Okay, ABB. Come to the front. Come.
3 statements, right?
3 statements.
First one, I've traveled to more than 5 countries. Second one, I have 2 siblings. Third one, I have been with CMB for more since I graduated.
Okay.
3 statements.
You travel 5 countries, 2 siblings.
And my working
Work
with
with
CMB for
Since
since I graduated.
Since graduated.
Okay.
Wow, so loyal.
Maybe that's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay, how many of you say that he's traveled to more than 5 countries? 1, 2, 2 people.
3.
Okay, how many of you says that he's got 2 siblings? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hands. Okay. So How many of you say that he's been with CIMB since the day he graduated? 3 or so, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I guess what's the answer?
Second one is false. So
Oh.
I have 3 siblings.
Oh.
3 siblings.
My mom with CMB since I graduated. And
How long?
I
How long is that?
6 years.
6 years. Okay.
So I have 3 siblings.
哦，原来那时候我认识他是那小弟。所以
Maybe we can invite another 2 more people, then we move on to the
Yeah.
next session.
There we go. Interesting people.
Ah.
Interesting one.
Jason, is it okay? Can I invite you?
Yeah.
Haven't think anything.
I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay.
Tag 1, tag 2.
Taxi.
Let me think. Oh, I talked to Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, and David Beckham before.
That is
Is that one statement?
So,
Sudah,
statement number 1,
sudah.
you have talked to Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan, and David Beckham. Okay, that's 1 statement, not 2 statements.
Okay.
Okay.
Saingannya
Next one.
I like to eat durian.
Okay, he loves to eat durian. The third one?
I helped fly an airplane from KL to Hong Kong before.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so how many of you, how many of you says that he has spoken to David Beckham, Donnie Yen, and Jackie Chan before? Hands up. Okay, 5 hands. How many of you say that? What's the second one?
I like durian.
Then how many of you says that he loves durian? 2 of you.
Not true, don't like durian.
Yeah. And then the third one, of course, now you know the answer. Like you really knew the answer. Yeah. So he doesn't like durians, and he's spoken to play before.
揸飛機。
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was SIA cadet before,
SIA cadet.
so I can fly for aeroplanes.
Yeah, for
But I sat in 747 and piloted a while with the captain and first officer.
Wow, when are you going to fly? I want to sit in the
Cannot, now I can only drive.
Dangerous. Dangerous.
Not good driver, that's why I flunked out.
Huh?
Very early flunk out.
yeah. So
No.
actually, he also knows a lot of celebrity from before. I think still do, right?
No, don't know them.
Okay.
They know
Now
you.
they know this too.
No, now we take the chance to grill Shane. Last one, Shane.
Okay, the last one. Come.
Type C gay.
Don't like that. Just say non-binary. Fluid.
No,
Gender
my
fluid.
I haven't even thought about what to say. What
Let's
to
say hepatitis.
Number
Let's say that.
Okay.
Gender fluid.
Monosexual. I have a Dyson fan at home.
You're what?
Dyson.
I have a Dyson fan at home.
You know your phone.
What fan? That's why it's a statement, right? I have a Dyson fan at home.
Dyson is a certain brand just like Toshiba or something. Dyson.
Vacuum cleaner.
Oh, okay.
It's quite expensive one.
Quite expensive one.
I have a printer at home.
Oh, jahat, you don't want to say whether he gay or not.
Okay lah, I give you one lah. I'm not wearing underwear. Hey, no. I am wearing underwear right now.
I cannot tahan this one. Can censor him ah? Censor him.
Beginning under 18 可以吗？
Say your statement.
Yeah. I'm wearing
And now
underwear
you
right now.
fail with accreditation the video. When submitted.
Okay. How many of you says that he has a Dyson fan at home? Hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 6. How many of you says that he has a printer at home? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Don't have.
I don't have. Okay. Don't have. So 1, 2, 3, 4 lah. Okay. How many of you says that he's not wearing underwear?
No, he's wearing underwear.
How many of you say he's wearing underwear?
Wearing underwear. He's wearing the top.
This swing.
Second statement. That was the second statement.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, as in,
Printer, second statement is printer.
no. As in, whether.
He's wearing underwear.
Yeah.
His statement has now changed to he's wearing underwear.
Oh, so that
So
means he's
fluid,
not wearing out now. A new lifestyle.
Okay, which is the true one? Which is the false one?
You get me stimulated lah. No lah, second one. I don't have a printer at home.
Okay.
Software developer, need printer. What age you're living in? First year.
Okay.
Save the tree.
Okay.
How to printing on the typhoon?
Okay, come. Thank you everyone for participating. Alright, so we move on to our next segment. So this segment is about copyrights. Alright? Yeah, once you guys forget about the statement that Sheng made. Alright, so copyrights and other IPs. Yeah, just now in the first segment we covered about trademarks. Alright? Now in the second segment we're going to touch on copyright. Okay, next. So what is copyright? Copyright is the right to prevent others from copying or reproducing the original works of authorship. So in terms of copyright, the important word, just now the important word was science and device. Now the important word is work, right? And you get copyright for originality, okay? When your work is original, you can claim the copyright, all right? But there are certain requirements there as well. Now, in Malaysia, the copyright is not forever. In fact, in most countries, it is not forever. It is during the lifetime. Let's say you produce something, it is in your lifetime, and in Malaysia, plus 50 years. In the US, it is plus 70 years, all right? So depending on where you are, the regimes could be different, all right? And then copyright also covers the unpublished works. That means if you have, say, written a song, you have written a story, right? You have not published it outside, but still you can claim the copyright. Next, please. Thank you. So these are the works. We are going to describe the works which are eligible for copyright. There may be others which are not covered here, but these are generally the ones which we are referring to. So literary works, those newspapers, even your Facebook posting also is also a literary work. Could be, even though it is so short. All right. The articles which you write, right? But there is if it is too short, like you say that, hey, what's up? That one is too short and too ordinary. I think that one cannot laugh. But most of the time, if it is something identifiable, all right, you can claim as a literary work. Musical works, these are songs, maybe even your ringtone, which runs for 15 seconds, can also be a musical work, all right? And you'll be surprised, there are even copyright cases where just 2 seconds of a song, all right? And then somebody might say that part of the 2 seconds, I think Alicia Keys was sued by somebody. Then there was another one, I can't remember the guy's name. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, I'm in love with your body. You know the song?
Okay.
That one also was sued by somebody else, all right?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran, yeah. That one also, it's just that short, 2-3 seconds, but he was sued because of that, all right? And so to get around it, he has to show originality. So now Ed Sheeran actually records himself as he plays the piano, just in case he gets the inspiration, hey, this sounds good, I'm going to make it my next song. Mana tahu some guy from Korea is going to sue him the next day. Okay? Dramatic works. This includes plays, screenplays, scripts, and choreographic works. Right? Artistic works. This is for those who are interested in art, maybe for yourself. These are all covered by copyright, art, paintings, sculptures. But interestingly enough, when it comes to art, there's some derivative work involved. Like you make a sculpture. Alright? And then I took a picture of that sculpture. My photograph, does it have originality in it? You know, do I get copyright out of it? How much effort did I put into it? I think that's the one people always ask themselves. Right? So next. So These are also covered, cinematographic works, films, things like that. So even if this one, which is being recorded today, alright, I'm recording it, there is copyright in it. Alright. If you guys want to access it, let me know, but then still I will hold the copyright key. Computer programs, software, Sheng, Chongi, I think you know that, right? These are the type of literary work, and then sound recordings as well. Okay. Next. So when does copyright come to exist? You have created a work, but when do you get it? So you have to put it into a fixed form. All right. You can't just sing a song, and then after that you say, I forgot how it sounds like, but I claim copyright. You can't. It has to be put into a form which people can see and appreciate. All right. When you do that, they can claim copyright. So for a song, perhaps in the form of a recording, or maybe in the song sheet, that kind of thing. Even the arrangement of a song also has its own form of copyright. Right? So generally, the person who creates that work gets the copyright. But we have something called work for hire. Work for hire is that when you engage somebody to do it for you. So for example, if you run a publication and you hire a ghostwriter, now that person has the right to be identified as the author, but you will then be assigned the copyright. I didn't put the author's rights inside here, but if an author, all right, created something, but has assigned the copyright, he still retains the authorship's right. And that is the right to object to the use of the work. If it is immoral, if he thinks that it is not fit for the purpose that he created it, right? He can raise that kind of objection. That's author's right. Right? You do not need to register in the Copyright Office to be eligible for copyright. Okay? But in Malaysia today, we have this voluntary lodgement. That means you take a copy of the work. Let's say you have drawn up a painting, or maybe you have written up something. You want them to acknowledge it, maybe to timestamp the creation of it. There's a value there. So you can pay a small sum of money, and then they will have it done for you. But for a long time, Malaysia did not have this kind of lodgement or filing, right? Now, just to be clear, even if you do not file with the My IPO, you still get your copyright. Next, Johnny.
Yep.
Thank you. Sometimes you cannot get copyright. Right? Some things cannot be eligible for copyright. For example, ideas. Just an idea itself. Say I have an idea for a play like this, like this, like this. Somebody else creates that same play or the movie the next day. Can you sue them? Most likely not lah, unless it is so unique. Alright. Concepts or systems. Let's say you found a new way to calculate using 3 fingers. You can calculate any equation in the world. Can you copyright it? Unfortunately, you cannot lah, right? Because that is a way of doing something. It is excluded inside our act as well. Next. So these are some examples. The first statement is very important. The copyright does not protect the idea, but it protects an expression of an idea. So you might have a love story, all right? You and some lady, as I understand, you're not married yet, right? So you might have some story in mind to write. sorry. I didn't mean to point that out, but sorry. So maybe you have the idea to write a love story, but your love story might go a certain way. Then the moment somebody else does it, you want to sue them. This actually happened to one of the filmmakers before. He went to a film screening. Right after the film was ending, he stood up and he started shouting at the film director. And then the crowd was wondering, why are you so angry with him? He said, he stole my idea. He stole my idea. He said, oh, did he copy your idea? Where's your idea? It's inside my head. So needless to say, nobody took him seriously. All right? But that actually happened in the past. I think a few decades ago. So certain methods may be protected through confidentiality agreements, but not through copyright. All right? Let's say the recipe for Famous Amos or Coca-Cola, all right, or certain other recipes out there. they will not divulge it to the world. Until today, the recipe for Coca-Cola is also protected.
2% only.
Yeah, and I think they split the two parts of it lah. Yes, I understand.
And then they only their higher can have the means they have the recipe, and then the recipe can also out to any other third party.
So what they do is usually they will create the batch, the concentrate, and then they'll ship it over to a country. The franchisee over there will then have their soda water and all that, and then you will mix it, and then from there that's how they will market it out. The same thing goes for Famous Amos. They have a certain batch, right, of dough. They'll ship it to the country. Then the franchisee will mix it up with the general recipe. So they keep it secret.
Can
Because-
I ask question?
Yes.
If that secret recipe is not copyright, means nobody, no other people know what is inside that recipe, right? But that recipe itself is a copyright.
Yeah, but the Copyright Act doesn't recognize
Cover.
recipes, right?
So if they go and so if they want to make it as a copyright pun tak boleh lah.
Yeah,
Because Copyright Act do not recognize recipe.
as a copyrighted thing. Can you protect it with patent? So certain things you protect it through other ways. Like this one is a confidential method of doing things. You protect it through an confidentiality agreement, maybe an NDA, right? Maybe if it is something when an invention is involved, you can use a patent, right? We'll come to that. Maybe if it's a design, but it's a functional design, what you do is you register it as industrial design, functional design, right? So it's different. Now data cannot be copyrighted, it is out there for everyone, but if you arrange the data like the yellow pages, those days yellow pages was very important. Nowadays nobody looks at it anymore lah. But those days, that one itself is a copyrighted work, the arrangement of that, alright? You can't just simply pull out a few pages and say this is my Shing's directory. Shing's pages cannot. Alright? You must spend some time to qualify for originality. Okay, next one. Yeah, sometimes in a lot of countries, what the government does, alright, it's considered in the public domain. But in our country, we have something called the Official Secrets Act lah. Alright, so even though there's no copyright, but it is protected under the act as an official secret, you cannot take it out. Okay, if you do that, then it's not my problem. It's not a copyright problem, sorry. But you can still consult with us lah. There are many lawyers in the room today. Alright. Now this one I think might be quite interesting to you guys. Works without author. Now this one is where it is created without any creative input. Alright. And we'll see that in the next slide. Okay. And then for clothing designs, sorry. Sometimes they have similar style of clothing among companies. You usually do not see disputes cropping up because non-copyrightable. Yeah. Certain styles. Next. Yeah, certain works may be protected under different types of intellectual property law. Sorry, when I was preparing this, I was already a bit, by this time I was already a bit sleepy. So you might find it's not so focused like earlier. Earlier was very focused. This one a bit more wordy. Okay, next. So these are examples of works without authorship. So I would like to just specifically touch on these two types of things. Right? One is randomly assembled configurations, maybe like NFT. How many of you have heard of NFT? Non-fungible token. Yeah. 1, 2. I think the two of you don't need to put your hand up, so
Lie.
So the other one is generative output. You might have heard right now there's a lot of people using AI software to create text, to create images, music even. Alright? Something like that may not involve your effort. So do you deserve the originality? And some of the questions which arise now is that, can the software itself be qualified for originality? You know? And I think that question actually came up in a case where somebody actually went to the forest, he left his camera there in the jungle. A monkey picked it up, looked at it and smiled, and then press the button. So there was a picture of a monkey smiling into the camera. And that became a very famous picture. The man who owned the camera was very happy at first, but then later on the picture became used a lot of places without permission. Right? So he claimed the copyright. Right? And the question also arose then, can the monkey acquire copyright? He's the one who pressed the button. The court decided that the monkey cannot have copyright. I can't remember what he said about the man, but then the monkey cannot acquire copyright because not a human. The same thing as some of these people, the so-called IT pioneers, they tried to create robots or AI, and then from there they created works of art. One guy actually tried to claim copyright at the USPTO, US Patent and Trademark Office. He couldn't qualify because there's no authorship involved. Right? Go on to the next one. So PFP is for those of you who don't know, it's just a picture. It's kind of popular in the crypto space. All right. And this one actually how they work is they work with layers. All right. So they will select from maybe your base. You want sourdough. You want what kind of dough. You want what kind of toppings. You want what kind of cheese. Right. They will randomly select and then they put together. That's imagine you have a shop which comes out with random assortment of pizzas. Okay, each one of them will be different. You will select different type of cheese, different type of topping A, different type of topping B, different type of topping C, like that. So it's almost certain that you can generate 10,000 of these pizzas, and each one of them will be different, right? Now the same thing goes. So for an NFT, it works like that. So I'll show you an example. This one, next one, sorry. This one is called Goblin Town. Goblin Town is not really famous, but then they managed to sell more than 10k ETH, which is quite a huge amount. How much is 10k Ethereum? 1,800,000? 20 million, 80 million. 20 million, okay. Yeah, so they generated 10,000 pictures from an assortment of layers, and then they sold them out, and they generated this much in sales. That is almost 18 million or 20 million, depending on how you calculate it, when you calculate it. Right? And that's dollars. That's a huge business. I don't know whether transfer pricing can help that or not. But anyway, next page. So what happened is that they made so much money, they were very grateful, and they decided to open source their trade layers. So if you are interested, you can scan this, you can download the layers, and then you can check it out for this one. There's a software that allows you to mix and match. After that, you can try to generate your own NFT collection, and then you can ask my friends here what you need to do the next step. So they will be able to tell you. These are examples. This is just as of 2nd of July, last week. These were the top NFT sales conducted in the last 7 days. All right, and this was an infographic I just pulled out from Twitter. Each one of these is actually generatively created. That means randomly created from trades. You can see this one itself was sold for $335,000. How much is that in ringgit? I think more than 1 million ringgit. Yeah. This one is $200,000. Right? And you can see
what the.
Huh? Yeah, people actually buy these things. Right. Next. So this is again another one captured. This one is 30th of June. This is a fidenza. Fidenza is like some of those art which is created with a formula. So they use a formula, they visualize the data, come out like this. Right? People actually pay money for this fidenza. Right? This is another one, autograph. So it's not all just about pictures, the faces, but it's sometimes also about this one. And this is generatively created. The guy just came up with a formula. The formula was visualized, he came up with a piece of art. People paid money for it. Is there originality inside there? Sorry. Maybe you just give me a second. See who is it.
可以让他玩的，我这
彼得，我很想来买一下喂。
我回去 run 一 run 先，我问他看一下我收费可以4万的。
哦，那这位可以教你，这个阿信你请他就可以了。
没有。
啊，杰森是一个师傅来的。
没事是。
啊，
亏钱亏钱。
暂时
还不学习先。
OK，
你爸的那股不要你给我。
我分年龄账给你，如果
最烂的不要你给我，我收。
Yeah, so that is the question of the generative art. Now I also want to touch about licensing. With this kind of thing, right? Maybe they qualify for copyright, maybe they don't, because it's generative. But what they have done with their art, interestingly, they have given a license to people. So on their website, the Board 8 Yacht Club, they actually came up with a commercial license. So if you own the NFT, you can make use of it for commercial purposes. All right. They say that we give you an unlimited worldwide license to use and display the purchased art. Next. You can scan the QR code to get into the license. These are examples, they were all generatively created. Right? Whether or not they qualify for copyright, that's a different question. There's also an interesting case where somebody actually copied all of these into his own collection. It's called the Rider Rips, RYDER, Rider Rips. That's a huge copyright case by itself. Right? And that guy, this one is by Lava Labs. Okay? Oh no, Yuga Labs created this, they were successful. Rider Rips copied the whole thing, image for image, 10,000 of them, and sold it under his own brand, RRBAYC. They sued him. I think the case is still ongoing. The next. But you can see, people have taken that license and they have done things with it. Alright? Sometime last year, they were going to get their own film trilogy and sponsored by Coinbase. But unfortunately, the project was nixed end of last year. So, but I just show you the good news. I don't want to show you bad news. Again, this one just came a few months, 2 months ago. I think 1.5 months ago. Somebody actually signed up with a Mexican film company to use his image in a movie, his NFT's image. Alright? He's being paid money for that. So, from a generative art, which may or may not qualify for copyright, given a license, and then from that license, actually license it out. Again, the licensee license it out. Alright? He's not going to do the acting, the owner's not going to do the acting. He's going to let his one to do it. Anyway, so coming back to the topic at hand, I don't want to stray too far into the NFT territory, but coming back to the topic at hand, there are benefits to owning copyright. Alright? You have the exclusive right to reproduce, distribute, perform, display and license and prepare derivative work based on the copyrighted work. Alright? You can create, like just now, you saw the one before that. Sorry, can you go on the one before? This and this. If these were the same, this would be the original and this would be the derivative. They create maybe a 3D, but I don't think they're the same. Missing some glasses. Right? But if you can, like say, you buy the rights to a certain image, right? One of these, and then you start creating toys out of that, based on that. That's a derivative work. Okay? There's some degree of originality put into it, and you can claim copyright based on that. Alright? You can exploit it in more ways than just displaying on the wall. You can create a whole animated series out of it. Alright? It can be a whole entrepreneurial business by itself, a new one, just based on that. Next. So you have the right to license it or to sell it. And when you license or sell it, you make money out of it. You also have the right to decide who can use it. And finally, you have the right to take legal action and to claim royalties. I think royalties are very important. Okay? Royalties, who doesn't understand what's a royalty? So royalty is where you actually ask for payment when the thing is being used. For example, when your music is being played on the radio station has to pay royalty. Alright? When your song is being used in an advertisement or in a soundtrack, you have the right to ask for royalty. Okay? Or there's quite a licensing fee lah, but you also have the right to claim it. Next. So in the US, if you are in the music industry, this will be common to you. You can actually seek to do a cover version of a song. Alright? So let's say I wanted to do a cover version of Tina Turner's You're Simply the Best. I can. There are websites out there where you can actually apply for a license. Okay? And they will calculate it for you. You say I want to sell 100 copies, 200 copies. They'll calculate it for you. The cost is quite low actually. Alright? Or you say I want to put it as a digital download. The pricing will differ. So we have different types of royalties. We have mechanical royalties, right, from the sale of the song. Then we have performance royalties, where something is being performed. Alright? The original owner has the right to collect. And then you have these synchronization royalties. Okay? So usually the terms and conditions for these royalties are defined by contract. But once they are already there, this contract can then be assigned. Okay? Meaning to say that maybe today I sign a contract with this person to receive royalties. Tomorrow I need money, I can sell my contract, assign it to somebody. That person will receive the royalties. It's like cashing in on a bond. You know what a bond is? Okay, never mind. Next. So the biggest marketplace for this kind of things is called royalty exchange. Alright? If you log into royalty exchange, you'll be able to see their songs. And there are something called dollar age. How long has this thing been in the marketplace? Right? Sometimes the longer it is in the marketplace, the value actually goes down. Okay? But they also have different kinds of arrangements in there. You can buy the right to receive the royalties, or you can just outright buy the song. Up to you. This is mostly for songs. Okay? Now, just now I said we are going to touch on IP, types of IP other than copyright. Alright? And that's because there are many types of things that people create. Sometimes it's inventions, software, sometimes it's design. So, trademarks, we have touched on trademarks. Trademarks defines the origin of the product. Alright? That one is a logo, a sign, it's registered as a trademark. The next one we look at is patent. Patent is where you have created something new. It may not be something so nice to look at, but it performs its job. It does something new. So the requirement, it is novel, alright, and non-obvious. That's a whole different segment. So we only touch on it briefly. Now in Malaysia, if you register a trademark, a certain number of period of years, you will get it. Then after that, you have to pay an annual renewal fee. Okay? So there are times when the patent may lapse. And when it lapses, other people can start manufacturing it. If it doesn't lapse, then you wait for 20 years, then you can start manufacturing it. So there are companies which are built around what called expired patents. Just like in India, there's one called Ranbaxy. Heard of it? How many of you have heard of Ranbaxy? Ranbaxy is a company that makes generics. It's based out of India. So once the patent expires, they start manufacturing. Medicine. You see, example I give to you. The medical company, this is an important point before I move on. The medical company, when they create a formulation, they cannot start marketing it. They must pass what is called clinical testing. And that means they must test it with hundreds and thousands of people. Then the tests will confirm this is a medicine. This is safe. This can be sold. But when do they put the patent? Is it after their clinical testing or before? They will do it before. So the clinical testing could be 7 years, 8 years. Once they finish the clinical testing, they get the approval to market as medicine. What happens? They are left with about 11 years. Their commercialization time is very short. Sorry. Chong Yi. Next one, please. Sorry, guys. I promise this is coming towards the close already. Alright. Next one is trade secrets. Let's say you have the 11 special herbs and spices from KFC, right? And it's top secret. The way you do it is you protect it with agreements. So in case they happen to break the confidentiality, you sue them. But in practice, it's quite difficult to find out who actually broke it when so many people know about it. You have to limit the number of people. The last one is industrial designs. So sometimes you have nice chairs, all right? You're not inventing a new chair, but you're giving it a new shape. That one, if it's industrially applied, you protect it as an industrial design. Okay, that one also has a certain period of time. Now, infringement. Talk about infringement. When somebody infringes copyright, all right, you have to sue. But there arises a real problem. What happens when the infringer is from an overseas country? You want to sue, it's going to take time, and there's a cost as well. All right. If it's a local infringement, it's very easy. Now, if it is in a country which recognizes our court orders, it's also okay. You sue here, you enforce over there. But if it is in a foreign country where they are, let's say they take Upin Ipin, and then they go to some remote country in Africa, and they start printing it but with subtitles in that language. Our court order is not recognized over there. Right? The only way to do it is you fly over there, you sue over there. Okay? So whether it's worth it or not. Now, I also want to touch on this one. Guys, look at this. Look at these two pictures. This one is the original. And this one is not the original, but somehow it managed to win the court case for infringement. Do you think there's infringement over here? Mr. Fong, do you think if I were somebody, I take this picture, I put a guitar and 3 dots, do you think I'm infringing his copyright? Alicia?
Yes.
Yes, huh? Why?
Because you use the original as a base, you just change something and then you claim it's yours.
What if he says it took a lot of time to think of this?
No. The base is still original as somebody else's work.
Okay. So I believe most of you also have the same idea, isn't it? Yeah. This is a case called Prince and Carrier. This was actually taken in Haiti. Alright? These were the native people. So a guy actually went over there. He took pictures of them. About 4,000 coffee books were printed. Alright? Very small. Each one of them was sold for a small amount. So in total, I think he made 400 coffee books or 4,000. Can't remember. In total, he made somewhere around $10,000. Not much. These are the guy who does this. He's actually what is called an appropriation artist. He'll take other people's work, he'll add some modification on top of it, he'll sell it, and it goes into the hundreds of thousands. Alright? Go to the next one. Right? So, this guy, again, this is the case now. Harrio is actually the photographer. He went and took pictures of the Rastafarian. Okay? That's a lot of the reggae people. Prince, he used 41 of them. And then he used it for his exhibition. He would sell some of them. Alright? So this guy was sued by the original photographer. And he said, actually no, I have transformed this. So inside the US Copyright Act, there's something called fair use. And you know what? I actually checked Malaysia's Copyright Act and the US Copyright Act. We actually have word for word fair use, and in our case it's fair dealing. But we don't have cases like this. But the same section with the same wording. In the US, this case was the first one. The court actually said that that treatment of the photograph had actually transformed it so it acquired originality. Amazing, isn't it?
But this can't they go to federal court?
In their country they could, but I don't think they proceeded. There are many cases like this. There was another case I can tell you where there was this artist. He would go around the streets and he would put up pictures of his own logo, something like a picture of Christ. on a crucifix, alright, but with a certain kind of expression. One day, the band called Green Day, you heard of them? Do you have the time to listen to, you know that one? Okay, those guys hired a guy to do a music video. That guy went around the streets and he saw this one picture. He took it and he made it a backdrop for that music video. Of course, he changed it a bit. He made it a bit darker, changed the tint, but it was still the same image. Alright? That original artist sued Green Day and also sued the one who made the music video for them. They went to court, and then in the court there, the artist who did the music video, the arrangement and all that, he said, actually we have taken it in a different context because we link it back to the song. Alright? There's actually certain kind of storyline going on, so that image was appropriate. And the court actually buy that idea. They have transformed the use of the image. Even though copyright was still existing in the original picture. Right? The same thing with this one. This one, copyright still exists. But somebody else can take it and change it. Right? Okay.
How about the case of this lady called Tuan Meiyu from Singapore, whose image was taken and made into a piece of art by a Russian artist?
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah. So basically, she cannot sue in Russia because in Russian law, copyright of unfriendly countries are not recognized.
Yeah.
So, but can she sue the artist from Singapore because she's Singaporean? So the artist took her image, make it into a piece of art.
Her image, her face?
Her
or
face.
Her face. So in the US and in a few other countries, we have what is called person rights. Meaning to say, you have the right to object against your likeness being used in, say, reproduction. For example, in the US, a game company, I believe, Peter, you are an otaku, right? You like games. There was this one game company, they took a picture of one of the dictators from Latin America, South America. They put him as a bad guy in a video game. And he actually sued that company. He said, why you take my face?
Yeah.
Cannot. Right? And according to the law in the US, yeah, he has the right. Even though he's a dictator over there. But he can come to the US and sue, Laws like that, what to do.
What happen if Russia already say they don't support the copyright?
Yeah, this is a problem when you deal with infringers from countries where they do not recognize you, maybe from Myanmar,
So how?
and Cambodia, I don't know. So if they want to sue in a country, of course, it's very tough for them.
They can sue from Singapore lah.
If that guy is coming to Singapore, yeah, you can sue him. But I don't know. Practically speaking, you have to speak to a Singaporean lawyer lah. Right?
Alright.
Okay. Next. So I think we have gone into the Q&A session already. But okay. Anybody else got any questions?
What about the other Singapore? There's another Singapore lady where the young lady on TikTok, but because all her videos are there, they use AI and turn her into all the compromising ones. She was upset and trying to sue. Is that good? Or likeness, is it?
So there's actually two different issues here. One is the misuse of AI, and then you have to look at the AI policies. I think in Singapore they have got the AI policies lah.
Explicit content and everything.
Yeah. So that is one. But to actually use that image for this kind of thing, it might even qualify as a kind of defamation. I'm not so sure. I haven't heard of that kind of case yet, alright? But to use the likeness, I believe it has sparked a lot of talk about regulating AI. Some time back there was some guys, they took the picture of the Pope and they put him into a Balenciaga puffer jacket.
Jacket.
Right, that's one example. Some other people took Kanye West and no, not Kanye West, what's the guy's name? The Weeknd and Drake. They took the voice and then they used AI to generate new songs, which were actually doing pretty well on the airplane, right, before they're taken down because nobody knows. So things like this, different people have reacted differently to it. Where it is commercially successful, I think there was one lady, Grimes, Grimes. She actually has openly stated on the Twitter that anybody who wants to use her voice can sign a licensing with her. She's okay. But there are other people who are unhappy about that. So I'll give you an example. The top AI art programs in the world. One is Stability, the other one is Midjourney. The third one is DALL-E by OpenAI. Now, Stability and Midjourney, as well as another company called DeviantArt, they were sued by 3 artists. They claim that these guys were actually training their AI on these people's artwork.
Oh.
And they say that you take my artwork, you train your AI, and then your AI is going to create new artwork based on my artwork. So it cheapens my artwork. Alright, the case is still ongoing now.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is one. I think another one is a photography company. I can't remember, stock photo company. They also sued because the AI was trained on their images. So these are some of the issues which are popular. Still developing. Yeah, but the fact that if you
most of them AI is like it doesn't those people upload the picture, all the image transform the AI to their website only.
Yeah.
So recently most of the one are those big companies have been blocked before. Those users to upload those AI creativity from the other artists. But there are cases going up.
Yeah, ongoing cases. But for the case of porn, using the likeness for porn, let's say somebody likes you so much to take your picture and use it for porn, who knows?
Ask for royalty.
Can ask for royalty. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't mind, then it's okay lah. You ask for royalty. But if you do mind, then it might actually be a blemish on your reputation. There's
No, I
defamation
will have
involved. There's fraud
parameters
involved.
when it comes to the length and whatnot.
But isn't that what happening to all the celebs? Every celeb, male or female, you just search, it should pop out something that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
them. But they are not suing all this.
There was a software called Deep Nude, I believe. Deep Nude.
What the heck?
Oh, why you know?
DEP Nude, NUDE. That one has been
So it's
taken
like
offline. I think.
deepfake lah for all these
They
kind
do
of
the
things.
fake. So you just need to put down there like some celebrity's name, and then they will generate the images. But anyway, that's all different. It doesn't need to be protected solely by copyright, right? In the US, there is a law to protect people's likeness from being used. All right. Outside, you might say passing off because, hey, this one looks like it's coming from me. Remember just now I was talking about passing off? It looks like it's coming from me. You might be paying for this, but I'm not benefiting from it. So I sue on passing off. Maybe. But then, even if it's permitted, also you cannot sell because it's porn. In Malaysia, it's contrary to public policy. Right? But depending on your jurisdiction, you will make use of the law. Next. You have a question? Okay. Any other question? Okay, guys. Okay, so let me have a short quiz for you. All right. So let's say Jason has drawn a little picture for his business over here. You're with this group or with the group? Okay, you have drawn this picture over here. Under what kind of IP can this be protected? You have drawn this picture.
拿上来看看。
他已经画了这个
Trademark.
Yeah. Under what kind of IP can this be protected?
Just the picture alone lah, nothing else.
Trademark.
Copyright lah.
So
Just a picture alone lah.
yeah, so the answer is both trademark and copyright. Right? This is able to qualify as an artistic artwork.
Ooh.
Okay? Yeah, it is. So even like the blueprints for a building can also be artistic artwork. Okay? But once you have registered it with the trademark office, it becomes registered as a trademark. Alright? Should I ask another question? Okay. So let's say Zhongyi came out with a 10K, what do you call it, 10K PFP NFT collection using some smart programming. He came out with 10,000 frog pictures.
10,000 shares.
Or 10,000 shanks, yeah. One of them wearing a cap, the other one having a cigar, the next one wearing sunglasses.
All not wearing underwear. Wearing a thong.
Alright.
Like, bro.
And then Zhongyi makes a lot of money out of
It
that.
sounds like an idea.
That's good idea.
Okay, what right does Sheng have against him?
Inflation.
What kind of infringement?
Like this.
I don't know.
Like, help me out. I need to
Like the-
make sure that I can
passing
sue
off
him
on
in
the-
case he uses it wrongly.
Hey, he's making a lot of money, he's selling NFT.
I share royalty with you. Okay, help me.
Any idea?
You license your likeness to him after this.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's assume that there's no licensing going on just yet.
Yes.
Yeah, what can you do? Or one solution maybe to license up. You threaten legal action and then say, okay, you want me to sue you? Can.
False license.
You sign the licensing with me. But that is for future. How about the past sales? What happens out of that?
Inflation. Pass off.
I think yes, can use passing off because you're using his likeness.
Oh.
So people thought that it comes from him.
People thought that it's him.
Yeah. So they paid, and then maybe Zhongyi is anonymous, you see.
And then worse off, the picture without his wearing underwear.
That's what you guys think about it.
So,
Extended passing
the
off.
reputation already gone.
Okay, that's a different one. That one's defamation. Yeah. So those are all the things which you can threaten him to get him to settle with you. You can say that I will sue you for defamation, right? I have you the way you have done this for me. You show me that I walk around without my underwear. Now everybody thinks I go around without underwear as a habit. So I will sue you lah unless there's something I demand compensation. Can that's another way.
10,000 underwear. So each of them will have underwear. Fuse them, fuse.
Let's continue with the seminar.
Okay, guys, let's go back into this one. So I have two assignments. We move into the first assignment, all right, for your group discussion. All of you have the artwork that you have created just now,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then you remember which ones you were the examiner of it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So both of these are important. Huh? So you were the examiner for this group. This guy, you were the examiner for this group, and then I think beyond you were the examiner for that group. All right, so you guys examine each other.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now this is my first assignment for you. Please go back to the same groups and then you can use the appropriate search engines. Okay, I will teach you guys. This one you need to register. The other two is free. Alright, so TMVN, what do you call it? They have a trademark. That means TMView lah. TMView. You just Google for TMView. It's a worldwide search engine for trademarks. You can check for anything from the US to Russia to Korea to Malaysia. Alright, the registered ones will come up. Alright, you can also use Google Images. Once upon a time, there was a guy, he kept on wanting to register his trademark. We had a Zoom call. He said, I want to register this one. His boss asked us, do you think this one can register? On the chance that the guy just typed in the name of the trademark, it came out that somebody else had already registered it. Okay? So I want you as an examiner to go back to that trademark. Please check back. This one is Power Spring, is it? Spring Power. Right. This one is FMF. And the brand there is Beyond. Right? So every element of it. And then one there is, what do you call it? Cool Mixed Rice.
Yeah.
But with the logo. So if you see something similar to that logo, you can also comment. Because the logo might be similar to something outside there. Okay? So please revise your assessment. See if there's anything for you to revise. We'll do this one, I think we'll be done in about 10 minutes. Alright, but you guys can do it. Identify which trademarks look or sound similar and raise the grounds to object. Okay? Can we do this? I think about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes.
So that means now I'll go into TeamViewer.
Not TeamViewer,
TeamView.
TMView. There are two. One is TMView ASEAN, the other one is TMView. Alright? TMView ASEAN is actually confined just to the ASEAN countries. That means Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand. But if you go to TMVN, it's a worldwide one. It's a European-based one.
Just use Google image.
Use a bottle as well.
Ah.
Yeah, you can also do a reverse search like what Shane is doing. There's a reverse image search.
So we will search. 因为我们刚才 FSS 把那个就是register 过，那对以前对一遍是那一遍啊，对。
嗯，对。
那个 TeamView Asian 怎么样用？还是
You just key into Google TMView.
and then
There's one TMDN. TMDN is the worldwide one. There's two versions of TMView. One is the TMDN one. It's a worldwide database. The other one is TMView ASEAN. So you go into either one, and then bear in mind the trademark which you criticize. All right. Whether or not. So this one is. You guys are still in the examiner mode. You guys are still in examiner mode. You will go and find fault lah. Alright, so you focus. The next activity is on your own trademark. Okay, this one you're focusing on the one which you commented on. Guys, if you want to sit outside at the table also can, or if you guys want to be around here also can. Okay, I'll be back in, let's say 10 minutes or 5 minutes, or I'll just hang around here in case you guys need me.
I have to key in all those trademark name now.
Yeah, let me see how you're doing it. Come.
The key in the trademark name. What is the name?
So, like for example, Spring Power. So you type in SPRING POWER. Well, there's one called Power Spring. There are a few of them called Power Spring.
Power Spring, but this is the valid one, the word.
So you can make a note. Will it be?
Power Spring, Power Spring. Oh, this one is just the name.
Yeah. So these are some of the grounds which you
Spring
can.
Power.
Alright.
So it's just name only. So now I
那
want
个
to logo.
TMView Asia
Yeah.
Oh, he's checking.
没有，都没有，
Exactly 没有啦。
我们很好啊。
Have you signed the attendance form?
他不会说we have to seal
哦，这样子我小朋友画的都可以啊。就是啊。哦，这样子。我们那个一定有。
Oh, by the way, can I take a picture with you guys before you guys go off?
你去接那个去接
Can I take a picture with you guys?
Yeah, come.
How do I do this? I'll just stand here and then.
Do a Wi-Fi ah. Send him do a Wi-Fi.
I used to do a Wi-Fi.
Then do a broad view.
Why similar is it? Oh, then
Already registered this time.
Google.com 本身也打
Then this one.
TeamView Asia
yeah, it looks too similar.
这样这个是
体验嘛。
你打一个我拿 TeamView ASEAN View ASEAN 会看到这个出来。
Okay, guys, don't worry. This is all just an exercise, okay? For you to understand the process.
ASEAN
This is quite normal for me, lah, but maybe not normal for you. Okay. So I can see there. Now we have Alicia is quite familiar with the process already. How about you?
Done.
You done yours, huh?
Done.
Okay.
是它的不一样来，我不会的。
看一下。
是那样的，after I do this，这是怎么样？
哦，你这是ASEAN 的，ASEAN 的，你的是 TNBN 的，European 的。
哦，也是可以吗？那
这个是 OK 的，你的告诉谁？So this one you just 你要找哪一个对吗？
那拍照
什么照片？
这个拍了这个来。
Okay, go fast food is it?
哦，是打字的，这个是。
No, picture.
Next one, sir. Oh,
The one, picture.
then you use the reverse search. Then you use the reverse search.
Picture size 是吗？
可以两个分享。
Okay, okay. 这个，
是 small picture size。
so 你在这里呢 ，you see 啊，when you go to Google， 你去到 Google， 你看到有一个这个 camera， 按这个 camera，OK。Search with your camera。
哦，现在拍哦。啊。
然后带来那个
我就是
图片，
刚才说。
带来那个图片，
还挺厉害的吗？
你看，
Kevin, I may have to make a move.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, let's just finish this one.
Can read.
Hmm?
Can read.
Oh no, I got the chest pass.
等下，刚才我去按了我 search image， 我 take
Anyway,
Yeah, got
think
chess
I'll try
competition
to
tonight.
Finish it off lah. The next 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay. I will talk to you. Yeah, sometimes. Okay. Never mind.
就 wait 了，
Yeah.
就看好了。哦，有了，等下 search。
Yeah. You come out lah something. Okay guys, I understand time is a bit of a constraint.
因为谁是 Jason 没有签那个 consent。
Okay.
Jason please sign for me.
No consent.
Yeah, guys, I need you
There's
to
a
sign
valuation,
the
right?
evaluation form.
Come, let me get the valuation. Okay. Oh, quality. 5. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Please rate. Poor. 5. That's 5. Like chicken rice.
Jokes.
Dirty jokes. 5.
What the heck?
Peter, 你签了这个吗？
现场
这个
Find most, what do you find most useful and enjoyable?
Jokes. Chicken rice.
Jason.
Clear and visible project always useful trophy to improve better and space out sittings.
Okay, thank you.
Very satisfied.
So, Johnny, you have signed. Shane,
Done.
I think Shane hasn't.
Cáo tìm.
Shane, can you help me fill this one?
À.
For your attendance. Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
走啊 OK 再见啊可以啊啊可以没问题的
再见了。
拜拜
你回去经过，你还没上，你下去经过。
Drop who? Drop. Oh, you can. No problem.
可以可以。
有这个泰语啊，讲话字。
online 的问题啊。
Yeah.
Yes, go back to the children. Thank you very much.
Yeah, not so soon. Oh yeah, it's early enough to drop back to work.
I'll try to finish it in 10 minutes.
Because the last week one, but you cut now, right? Now it's just like the assignment.
I will remove it now. So, okay.
Then you need to wrap it up, like do the degree.
Okay. So I just need about 10 minutes of you guys' time.
Okay.
Alright? So very quickly, maybe I can just invite we finish off this exercise. We'll skip the next exercise because there's not enough time. That one will take another 15 minutes. Alright? So this exercise, you guys, you were the examiner for that group. Comex Rice. What were your comments after doing the search?
Comments. Okay. When we did a search on TM View ASEAN, we found that there was one registered in Philippines in 2008. But at the same time, it shows that it has ended. The trademark status has ended. It was registered in 2008. It wasn't exactly similar, but two possible similarities: a spoon and a fork.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was registered under class 43. So for her, I think her class might not be class 43. And when we did a search, picture search, there was also one, but the cutlery that was used was a knife and a fork and a travel. So I believe it should also be under a different category. Yeah.
So I think for that,
Yeah.
with that kind of finding, maybe expired trademark and all that, so
Yeah.
you can probably not.
Yeah, probably go through.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Peter, you did a check on trademark. Yeah. FMF. What was your finding?
FMF finding that from the Asian TM view, I found that there is a few FMF lah. Mostly it's on Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia. The application is quite old. Only got one is the latest. Its latest is by the Sterling International Group for the FMF logo. So they have been registered. Okay, that's all.
What's the class?
The class is class 9.
Class 9. So it is in a different class lah.
It's found in different class.
So it's not in the food industry. So I think that one probably will go through lah, unless the logo is too similar. Yeah. But if it's in a different class, still most likely they will let it through lah. Some more here also got a picture of a bowl.
Yes.
So it's quite clear it's in a different industry. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Alicia, you have done a search on this gentleman's
We done a search on the company name. It's the
I think the product
same
name.
name, except that theirs is spring power as one word. The one that we found similarity is two words on words. But I didn't see the class thing.
Okay.
Okay, and the picture, Shen did it. No similarity. So,
Okay.
So means the logo no similarity. The wording similarity. I feel that it is too close. Same word, even though just is considered one word without the space. And those who recorded under same word but with the space.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, so basically if there is similarity if there is in the same class, I think
Class I don't know.
yeah.
I didn't check.
So maybe the trademark officer will raise that as an issue. But most of the time when you look at these things, it is from a different country. When you have time, you guys please register with IP Online. That is the My IPO internal search engine. Because the ones which have sangkut one, the ones which have not passed through one, they will all appear there. Alright? And so, yeah, basically these are the things. Now I would have also like to give you guys another exercise, but I think there's not enough time. The last exercise which I would have done is actually how you yourself would improve or modify your trademark, knowing what you know lah. Right? But I think this one not necessary lah. It will also take quite a bit of time because you have some discussion going on. Alright, and so let me do a debrief session. Okay. Now today, you guys have gone through the whole of today's session. I'm quite grateful that you have come. Alright, and you have learned what is a trademark. You have learned what kind of processes you need to register your trademark, whether or not you should register, and whether or not you still have rights when you do not register. You have also learned the type of things you can do to defend your trademark, to protect your trademark, so that if it is attacked through an objection by the trademark office, or if it is attacked through an opposition by a third party, you at least have something to defend your trademark. The same thing, after our break, we actually proceeded to the second part, which is on copyright. You have learned what is a copyright. You have also learned what kind of things are eligible for copyright. But you have also learned some of the things which are not eligible for copyright. So the examples I've given you are like generative art, things done without authorship, alright, things which are contrary to public policy. We have also discussed the infringement of your copyright, what you can do. And we have also discussed possible defense, alright, which is fair use, fair dealing. We also touched on the topic of royalties. So royalties are very attractive. If you are in it for the money, you can study further. And with that, we also had a few activities where you created your own brand, and then you critique other people's brand. And after that, in the following section, you also did a check on the background, maybe through certain trademark search engines, right, and Google images as well. So you have acquired certain skills. So with that, I think you will be more useful to your organization when you go back now. All right. Can I have the next slide? Maybe I see if there's anything. Yeah. Can I just get any feedback from any of you?
From father.
Huh?
Given already. Thank you.
Full colors, 5 star.
Whoa.
5 star.
Thank you. So that is all for me today. All right.
Okay, thank you.
I will make the slides available to whoever one of you wants to get access to it. Also the recording, all right, if you want. And but just to caution you, I have the copyright lah. So please do not distribute it. All right. The other thing is that I will be able to issue a certificate of attendance for those of you who are here today. I subscribe to a tool called Certopus, CERTOPUS, and they actually give me a quota of 3,000 certificates in a year. So, and it's verifiable. So just if you're okay, I'll put down your details into the software and I'll issue.
Can you open an OpenSea account and then put the certificate there and then transfer it to our MetaMask wallet?
Can, but I don't know your MetaMask wallet. Okay.
Get to where
Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Kevin, make a request.
Thank you, friends. Hey, thank you everyone for coming.